Our overarching goal is to be the most loved hotel brand by those guests that know us. Now, you might have noticed that I didn't say largest. I didn't say the best known. What I said was the best loved. You think about travel today. Travel is stressful these days, and it's not getting any better. So you show up to a Kimpton hotel, you walk in, there's great design. You know, there's a great restaurant next door, a chef-driven restaurant, and there's this friendly, genuine front desk agent that's worried about caring for you and what your needs are.
When I did work in customer service, what I loved about coming to work every day, besides my job, my coworkers, is I really liked helping people. I really enjoyed helping people get what they needed, and especially since I worked in a children's clothing store, I liked working with kids around.
The biggest thing that makes me actually want to go to work in the morning is my coworkers, because yes, the other guests that we're helping are important, but they're the ones that at the end of the day I wind up spending the most time with, and I don't want to just spend 8 hours a day with horrible, miserable people.
What makes me love coming to work every day is coming into a new day with new challenges, and I enjoy dealing with those new challenges, getting to try to think outside the box.
Working at Kimpton, it doesn't feel like work. It's not burden. It's not laboring. You're with people that you love to be with. You get things done, and you have fun at the same time.
Bored is a foreign language to us. There's always something to grow in, something to do.
It's important to get people together, to do things outside of work. Then that creates more of the family environment when you all come back to work.
Hospitality is not always easy.
It is a lot of hard work.
But it's about something greater and something bigger. And it's not just these wonderful guests that we do have, but it's also the camaraderie and the support that is really there in the Kimpton family.
So one of my most positive experiences as an employee was when I was working in Disney, and a man came up to me. I was just like standing on one of the main streets, and he came up to me and he was asking for directions, and he asked me how to reset one of his fast passes, which would allow him to get on a shorter line before riding. Basically, he'd lost the fast pass, and he didn't understand why, and I wasn't really sure why. So I happened to have fast passes on me, so I kind of just gave them to him instead, and I said, here, go ride whatever you want. And he actually started tearing up, and he explained he was there with his 2 kids. He'd just come home from the military. Each of the kids hugged me, and it was just a really nice experience.
A really memorable and positive experience I had working was as a lifeguard. Our pool was super big, so we hosted the Special Olympics for swimming, and it was a small group of lifeguards working it, but we worked a really long, hard day, and at the end, the principal of the high school, which was what the pool was attached to, the superintendent of the Board of Education, and the host swim team, they all thanked us and acknowledged our good jobs, for our good work. We were rewarded for that, and that made me and a lot of the other employees feel really good. And that was a really memorable experience because it was also the Special Olympics, which that was a great thing just to be a part of.
I've had many positive work experiences, and I have many examples, but I guess the example that stands out in my mind right now is several years ago, around the holidays, we were giving out holiday bonuses, and I put everybody's individual bonus on a little piece of paper, and I tied it around a lollipop, and I put all the lollipops in a bag, and it had everybody's name on it, and it also had the amount of money that they were going to get for their bonus. And I called a general meeting, and I had everybody in the meeting. It gave me great satisfaction to put a smile on people's faces and to do something a little outside the box. People usually are used to getting their holiday bonuses by going into a meeting with their manager or just getting a check, a separate check on payday. I thought this was a little special and something that people will remember, and I certainly will.
Creating a best place to work and having a reputation as the best place to work is really critical to attract the best employees. And part of that is create an internal environment, a culture, if you will, where people feel like they can be themselves and deliver their best selves on the job. If you don't care for your employees, they're not going to care for your customers. Part of that for us is providing opportunities for them to grow professionally, but also personally. We help them learn about their own personality or the personality of their coworkers. This is something we call self-insight. It allows them to be much more empathetic with our guests.
Employee satisfaction is a big part of guest satisfaction, because if the employees are in a bad mood, the guests can tell. They can pick up on your vibe. And if the employee loves their job, they're just going to be in a better mood. They're going to want to help. Otherwise, if they're miserable, it's just, they're not going to be motivated.
Employee satisfaction definitely increases customer satisfaction, because I think it's really obvious almost anywhere you go. If an employee's in a really crappy mood or they don't want to be there, they're not doing their job, I think it's just as noticeable if they do want to be there, they are enjoying their job, and that makes me more comfortable if I go somewhere and I see the employees are having a nice day.
I certainly feel that employee satisfaction directly correlates to guest satisfaction. If the employee is not happy or they're disgruntled, there's no possible way they'd be able to perform their job and be able to give their all and provide excellent customer service.
Important to remember to have fun. Most of the people we compete with in our business, they're not that fun. They're more, services by the book. Our designs often have a whimsical feature. We feature free bikes at all our hotels that you can go travel around the city for free, complimentary bikes. We have leopard skin robes in all the rooms that are fun. When we have new employees come to our annual meeting that we have every year, we require that they hula hoop in front of everybody. I had to do it. It makes you feel a little foolish. Nobody's really that good at hula hooping. But it kind of says, hey, listen, we don't take ourselves too personally. We don't want you seriously. We don't want you to take yourself too seriously.
If I was a manager to motivate my employees, definitely hard work, overtime will probably get rewarded with a raise, and there wouldn't be a lot of overturn. I always hated doing a new job and then all of a sudden, just every few months, tons of people are hired and I get less and less hours. So if I was a manager, I'd definitely try to keep it a small, tight-knit group who enjoyed their job, were good at it, and they knew for good work there was a reward.
I would probably set up some sort of incentive system or some sort of game that the employees could do. We had, during one of our festivals, we had people, like whenever we'd interact with a guest, we'd ask them like, oh, what's your favorite flower? And we'd write that down. And the whole idea was to keep track of how many different types of flowers you got, and whoever got the most was entered into a raffle, and maybe they could get a prize at the end of the month or something. So that was nice.
There's many ways to motivate employees. Employees in some organizations only hear from their managers or their bosses when something goes wrong, and I'm the complete opposite. I'm very communicative. I want them to know when they did something right, and then we talk about it, and I make sure that I always have a smile on my face, and quite frankly, I treat the person who sweeps the floors the same way I would treat the president of my organization.
It enables me to be the real me by trusting me to do what's best for myself as well as the company.
Everybody is allowed to be themselves and do what they do how they do.
Because we hire interesting people, and we know that that's what makes you interesting, is having a life outside of work and also developing within work.
I've been working for over 25 years, and certainly you never stop learning, you never stop training.
So I feel like I was trained well as an employee. Most of our training at Disney focused on how to be courteous towards guests, how to respond to their questions, and just how to make like magical moments for them.
We will all also kind of help each other out. Like we learned how to deal with people or difficult situations just by communicating.
Micromanaged. They trust me to do the best thing for my restaurant.
They have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience to be like, this is a great idea. Here are some key ways to make this happen. Be your own creator.
Make it count.
We make it count.
We make it count.
thought about human resources and Kimpton hotels when doing research for this project, including their leadership style. As a leader, I would impose the same values onto others. In 5 years, I hope to be in a more managerial role where I can coach and guide others and implement the same values. As for 10 years from now, I will want to be in an upper level position where I can lead supervisors and managers effectively to successfully develop human relations skills. Ultimately, I am confident that my education in human resources will be helpful when working in a managerial position.